I just heard a noise out here that you don't want to hear. Hello everybody, welcome back. As you can see, we got a little blockage in the road. Even if I did bring my chainsaw, it wouldn't be big enough to take this one down. So I'm gonna have to do a detour, go back on the road and look for another route. There's no specific destination in mind. Actually, this is more of an exploratory route or exploratory area where I'm just trying to look around and see what I can find and maybe mark it down for future reference. this place is so beautiful. It's so calm and serene here. Now, I did look around me to see if there are any widowmakers, any dead trees, branches, limbs, or anything like that around me, and I did not see any. For the most part, I feel like I am safe over here. We're not expecting any heavy snow overnight or high winds, so it should be relatively safe. Now, as you know, when I go camp in my Jeep, it's a very simplified setup. I am sleeping out of the back of my Jeep. I have my deep sleep setup on one side. I carry the cargo on the other side of the back, and I still do not have a tailgate table yet. So when I want to set up camp and set out a living area, I have been entertaining some options. So as you know, for the Ram, this company called DoD Outdoor sent me a sleeping mattress. For the Jeep, they sent me this chair, this table, and this tent. It's a slanted tent at the top. But how I'm using it is I am using it to back up my Jeep in it, so I can still, if it does happen to snow or rain, I have some shelter against it, and I am still able to keep the rear hatch of the Jeep open. So far, I think it's working, but as far as the top goes, I don't know how the load is gonna be. One of the issues I had was staking down this tent because it is not a freestanding tent. It does need tension and staking and guy lines pulled out in different directions to have it stand taut. The thing is, the stakes that it came with are not snow stakes, so there are specific snow stakes that you can buy. They do a better job of holding steadfast in the snow, whereas these ones with a slight, just even a little bit of pressure, you can actually pull these stakes out pretty easily. So because of that, I am not able to make it fully tight on all sides, as you can tell, but I did what I could. So if it does start to snow heavily, I do feel like the top could give in or it could puddle. My impression is I think this is more of a 3-season tent than a 4-season tent, but I am still trying it out anyways, still to be able to provide some shelter. Now, because of the limited cargo space in the Jeep, I did want to be as simple as possible as far as what I bring and how I camp. So for this trip, I did not pack the stove, I did not bring a fridge because it's a one-nighter. So I just brought a meal that is super easy to make. Not something I would say you should eat all the time, but for a quick and easy, super fast, filling meal, it will get the job done. So for this trip, I am bringing an MRE. It is a beef ravioli and meat sauce. Since I am out here by myself and we still have a newborn back at home, I didn't want to take any risks, so I'm not going to have any beer or whiskey or anything like that tonight. Just having a Red Bull. While I was preparing the meal, I was thinking, and I think I'm gonna break down this tent before I go to bed tonight. If I think about it, I'm not gonna be utilizing it tomorrow morning since I'm gonna head home pretty early. I'd rather pack it up right now instead of in the morning tomorrow when I have to get back. So yeah, I'll save some time by doing it today. This really isn't that great. So this is the last trip where you're gonna see Dusty stock like this. In the next couple of weeks, I have plans to have this modified, and it's gonna be modified with a pretty good amount of things. I actually got skid plates back at home that I need to install. But yeah, as you can see, for the most part, Dusty is capable out in the snow right here. We do have the KO2s on there. I am changing out the tires as well. You know, I did kind of gauge, because I am by myself, I did not want to try to get too deep. Snow level over here is just high enough where it's just right under the diff on the Jeep. And just a quick thing I did want to share with you guys, that I did track this location on the Onyx because I do like the spot and I do want to go further up this road, because this trail still goes up a little bit higher. So I did map it on that app. So if you don't have a navigating app yet and you are curious about utilizing an off-road app, I do have a 20% off discount code. You're more than welcome to use it or not if you are comfortable with other maps or apps. But for the most part, my circle of friends and a lot of the people I roll with do use Onyx, and some people use other maps along with it, so which is more than fine as well. But I do look forward to coming back out on this trail when I do have the Jeep modified. All right, so aside from that, I'm gonna finish up this meal. I might not finish up this meal actually, but what I'll do is whatever I do after I wrap it up, I'm actually gonna break this down and then head into the Jeep. So I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, so I'll settle into the Jeep. Put my duffel bag of clothes up there on this shelf rack. Just because at the bottom over here, I just want to kind of have some open space. And then I got my iPad there. I got a couple of movies downloaded from Netflix. Maybe I'll just watch that. And at the bottom here, there's all the gear that I had outside. I folded it up, stowed away. And here's the sleeping bag. And then my power source there. I don't know if having it this close to me is going to give me cancer or something, or if there's some radiation coming out of here. I'm not sure, but I don't plan it to be like this for a very long time. I do have some other ideas in mind as far as how I want to set things up, so it's temporary. All right, so here's the front side of the Jeep. I used to lay down on that side, but over there's a subwoofer, so it kind of protrudes in. So I went to the driver's side, and there's a little bit more space on this half of the Jeep. Got my sleeping bag, my pillow, electric blanket, and then my deep sleep underneath. The electric blanket is a backup in case if it gets too cold and the sleeping bag isn't insulated enough. As you saw earlier, I did move the seat forward so that I can have it fully laid down as far as the deep sleep goes. And I'm 5'11", and this is perfect space for me. All right, so that's the setup right now. It is about 7 o'clock, which gives me just enough time to watch maybe a movie and then head to sleep. And then I'm planning to leave out from here pretty early tomorrow morning because we're taking Maya to her 2-week doctor's visit. This whole interior setup is a constantly evolving process. I do have some other ideas that I'll share with you down the line as I go and upgrade and move things around. So, but for the time being, I guess I'll see you in the morning unless something else develops around here. All right, bye. Thought I heard something outside on this side of the car. Huh. I guess it was nothing. Once in a while it happens. You hear noises out here. But this one was pretty loud. Huh. All right, well, if I hear anything else, I'll fill you guys in. All right, guys, I just heard something again, but I heard a noise that you don't want to hear. It's not gunshots. It's not wild animals. It's not Sasquatch, or I don't think it is, but what I heard was a tree. I think it's a tree falling. It was a loud boom, and I think what I heard earlier in the car was possibly either uprooting or the trunk breaking. My concern is two things. One, if I'm not seeing a dead tree around here that I just missed, I feel like I'm spaced away enough, but I mean, these trees are gigantic, so if another one does fall, it is definitely not good for me. My second concern is wherever that tree was that fell, I hope it did not fall on a trail that I'm supposed to take back down. And I did not bring any saw or a saw, like electric one or a hand saw. So if it did, and it sounded like a pretty big damn tree, then I will have to call for help. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my way down the trail and kind of get out of here. It was crazy because I was just starting to doze off when I heard that boom. And this sucks. I don't know. What would you guys have done? Would you guys have still stuck around, or would you guys have left camp? I tend to kind of think a lot about things, and it kind of ends up keeping me up at night. and something like this is definitely one of them. So yeah, I'm just gonna make my way down the trail, and I'm gonna see what's up. If there is a down tree on the trail that's blocking me, I'll let you guys know. Aside from that, I'll just have the GoPro on in the Jeep, and you guys can just kind of follow along with me, and hopefully all is good. So fingers crossed. Luckily, it turned out that the trails were still clear. I decided to just head home on this adventure. It just made more sense to me. Again, let me know what you would have done in the comment section below. For now, be safe, take care, and I'll see you next time. You ready to see your sister?
Look at her shake her head.
You want to see your sister? Baby sister?
Yeah, she only started that this morning. Yesterday she was